Good evening, guys. Are we ready to talk marketing? Are we ready to talk marketing as loan signing agents and notary republics? I hope you guys are having a good day. We're going to wait a few minutes for some people to get in here. Hello, welcome. We're going to talk marketing as a notary republic and loan signing agent. I mean, we can also talk about all the other notary fields such as apostilles and permits and all that fun stuff. Hello, ladies. Welcome. Let's talk marketing. Who doesn't love marketing? Me. I hate marketing. I'm not going to lie. It's not my favorite thing to do. I'm not very good at selling myself. How about you guys? Are you good at selling yourself to people? Whether it's clients or business to business? Well, Mara, welcome to the industry. I love what I do. I've been doing this almost 4 years. I used to work at a bank, and 2 months after getting my notary license, I quit the bank and became a loan signing agent and started running my own business. So I've been doing this almost 4 years. And marketing has always been the bane of my existence, honestly. But I have some things that have worked, some things that have not worked, and we're going to talk about everything. We're also going to talk about my video that I did earlier today. We will talk about some of the things that go along with that. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes. I said I was going to start at 6, so I know that there are a few other people who wanted to join. So we're going to wait until 6 o'clock to get started. How have your guys' day been? Did you do any loan signings today? Did you do any general notary work? Or are you just completely getting started? Don't even have your business name yet. Where are you guys at in your journey? Nice. Refis are one of my favorite. They are definitely one of my favorite. Well, Mara, do you already have your notary commission, or have you not even gotten that far yet? All right, one more minute and we are going to talk some marketing. I'm going to attempt to ignore everything that's coming through on my phone because I have so many messages coming through. Okay, so do you know what specifics you want to do as a notary? Like, do you know what specific field you want to go into? Are you going to just work on general notary work? Are you going to work on loan signings? Are you going to do permit certifications? Are you going to work on trusts? Are you going to work on apostilles? That's definitely your next step, is figuring out what specialty you would like to work on. Thank you for sharing the live. That is greatly appreciated. All right, guys. So it's 6 o'clock. So let's go ahead and talk marketing. So we're going to start with talking about more in depth a little bit the video I made earlier today, talking about how I do my marketing for in-state and out-of-state. Nice. You may have some issues you're going to run into as a realtor doing loan signing, because there's a lot of signing services that refuse to work with realtors, just so you know. So you may have some. Yes, I do Ron, actually. I do Ron, and that's where my out-of-state marketing comes into effect. So in-state marketing, as I said, I have a 4-step process, I guess you could say. So my first thing that I do is I call. And so what I mean by that is I call the company. So let's just say I am calling John's Title. So I will call John's Title and I will take notes. I will make sure that I write the receptionist's name down who answers the phone. And I'll use their name in everything that I talk to about. So I'll be like, hi, let's just say their name's Rachel. Hi, Rachel. My name is Sarah. I am a mobile notary in the Mid-Missouri area. I was wondering, do you guys use mobile notaries? They'll say yes or no, or they might say that they don't know. And then I'll say, okay, cool. So do you happen to know if you guys use signing services or do you have notaries that work directly with you? They may or may not know that answer. If they don't know the answer to any of those questions, I then ask, well, who would I need to speak to get these questions answered? They normally can give me a name. I will write down that name. And then I will ask for that person's email and phone number. Sometimes they will give you their phone number, sometimes they won't, but normally they have no problem giving you their email. So I will write all that information down and I will tell them I hope they have a wonderful week and I look forward to perhaps meeting them in the future. And then I hang up. And then I take that information that I got from them and I put it into an Excel spreadsheet that actually has the name of the company. And then it has, mine says, John's Title, and then it'll have, I just write 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I do at the very end, I have a spot for information, and that's where I put the name of the person I talk to. So I will put receptionist, Rachel. Person I need to talk to is John Doe. And then I will put their phone number and email address. So it's all one spot. And then what I will do is in that number 1 spot on my Excel sheet, I put an X. So I made my first contact. Hello, Renee. We're talking marketing. Okay. So then after I've done that process to whoever I want to talk to that day, and I do it for each person. So I do have a spreadsheet for every single different field. So I have one for title. I have one for real estate agents. I have one for loan officers. I have one for lawyers. I have one for nursing homes. I have one for hospitals. I have a huge Excel spreadsheet with all the different fields that could use notarizations. And then each specific one has that same thing. Company name, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it has the information section so that I can put in all the information that I need. Now, after I've done the first one, the next week, so I don't do it all in 1 week because we don't want to bog people down. So if I get a phone number, this is kind of a caveat. So if in that first phone call with the receptionist, Rachel, I did get a phone number, the next thing I'll do is the next day I will call, okay? So I will call that specific number and talk to that person and kind of run through the same questions that I would with Rachel. If I did not get a phone number, then I will wait and do the email. So week 2 is when I send out my emails. And in my emails, I say kind of basic stuff. I'll be like, hi, my name is Sarah Reed. I am the owner of Reed's Remote Notary. I would like to offer my services to you for when your notaries are on vacation, out of town, or if you have clients who need something after hours. These are the services that I offer. If you have any questions, please reach out. And then I leave my email address, all that kind of stuff. And I send that out on week 2. Then on week 3, whether I hear back or not. If I hear back, obviously we're going to respond to the information. If we don't get a response, it's not a big deal. It happens. The 3rd week is when I go into places. I don't take anything with me. I don't take pens. I don't take treats. I don't take notepads. I don't take anything with me. I'll be honest, when I first started, I did take all the fun stuff, all the little treats, all the little pens, all the little Post-it notes into these places, and I'll tell you, not a single person has ever called me from a pen. Not a single person. I've never had a single person call and say, hey, I saw your business on a pen. No, never. And I always ask. That is definitely a tip for you guys, is especially when you're doing general notary work or trusts or anything, always ask them how they found you. That way you can kind of keep in mind what's working for you and what's not. But I have never had supplies given to people ever work. It's just my personal opinion. It's just not something that has ever worked for me. So I just go in and I ask for that specific person. Obviously, if they're not in that day, then I ask what day they are in, and I try to plan to come back on that day and during a specific time if they tell me that that is a good time for me to be there. So after I've met with the person, after we've physically talked, so they've seen me, I've seen them, starting week 4, I send out a weekly email. Now, I'm not going to tell you what's in my weekly email because only my students get that. So, Renee, I have to send that to you still. But basically, in that email, you're talking about your availability. That's basically what week 4 is. And you're going to do that every single week until forever. Okay? So you're going to just, forever, you're going to be sending that email. They may never respond. I have a company that I work for. I'm not going to tell their name. But it took me a year of sending those weekly emails with my availability before they ever used me. And now there's somebody that uses me all the time. I probably do stuff for them 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, I do I do teach loan signings and notary public work plus business aspects. I don't really talk about it much because I normally do it mostly for people in my own state, but Renee is actually my first student outside of Missouri. So I do offer training like a lot of other notaries do, but with my training, it is very different. You guys get, so I have a individual and a group training. So group training is once a week. I get the whole group together and we do a group session on a topic. Individual training, we go through all the questions you could possibly have. And then we go over all the different loan documents, all the different general notary documents. We go through very in depth. And then I also give out my personal number to my students so they can reach out to me anytime, whether they're in the middle of a signing or if they get paperwork and they're not exactly sure what to do with it. I give them my number so they can text me to answer any questions, because I know when I first started that I had so many questions in the middle of signing and I could never get anybody to answer me from title or signing services. And I wish I had somebody who, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that. I wish I would had somebody who was there for me 24/7. And that's what I give to my students, is they're able to not call me. I always ask them to text me because I still do loan signings every single day and notary work. So I always appreciate a text. And then if I'm free, I do call if that's what they want. So yeah, I do offer training, but it's still very basic. You can really make your own email of what you're going to say. But like I said, my 4th email is giving them my schedule and a whole bunch of other stuff that I add to that. I'm so sorry you are struggling. That's not cool. Are you rural or are you live in a city, like a bigger area? Really? You have problems in St. Louis? I live in Missouri. I live down like Lake of the Ozark, and I don't have any issues. Are you using just signing services, or have you gone direct yet? Okay, well, I wait for her to answer. Now, I kind of do a similar thing for those people out of state. And yeah, it's so hard to find. good trainers. So my last live, I talked about loan signing system. So maybe at the very end, I will talk about that a little bit again, because I know there was a couple people like Renee who missed that. But I do feel that a lot of trainers are not very personable. It's all for them about making the money, which I totally understand. But I limit myself to the amount of students that I take in at a time, because I want to make sure that my students get as much help, as much information, and as much support as I possibly can. You have to be confident, girl. You can do this. I'm telling you, you can do this. I'm going to hype you up. You can do it. Come on. It's so easy. It's so easy. You just got to be confident, and it's not fun in the beginning. It can be a little hard, but let's go ahead and get back to marketing. So when I do out-of-state clients, and this is where a lot of like the Ron clients come from, and actually not even Ron clients, there are title companies that, because I have sent out all of this stuff to them in other states, they actually reach out to me to do loan signings when they have stuff in my own state. Okay. So out-of-state clients, same thing. I give a phone call. So I call them, ask all the information I need to know, ask them for the number and email of the person that I need to talk to. And then same thing, I send an email. Now, the only difference is obviously I personally am not going to go to California to talk to somebody in person. I'm not going to drive to Ohio to talk to somebody in person. So what I do instead is I do another call. So I call them and I talk to them very specifically. Always remember that when you're marketing to people, they don't really care how long you've been in the business, okay? They don't care how many loan signings you've done. They may ask you, but they don't really care. What they want to know is what you, as the notary public, as the loan signing agent, can do for them. So they want to know that you know your stuff, but they want to know what you can offer them that another agent can't, okay? So you need to really think about that. And then once again, I send out that 4th email every single week. I kind of do a bulk email almost. Obviously, there's email programs for that, just so you know, that you don't have to write it every week. And it'll go out to everyone, but it just won't tag them. So, you get those weird text messages and emails where it's like, oh, it was sent to blah, 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 blah. I use somebody that doesn't do that, because obviously we don't want that. We want them to think they're individual and that we are reaching out to them specifically. So then once I've done all that, I just continue to make contact. About once every 3 months, I call back in. And if I don't hear from them, obviously, I continue to send that last email, but I call them. And I once again say, hey, I was wondering if so-and-so was in today. They'll tell me yes or no. And then I will once again be like, hey, I know I haven't heard from you. I just want to let you know that I'm still here. I'm still around. I hope you get my email every week. I have loads of availability. If you need me, just let me know, in case your notary goes on vacation. Maybe your notary's sick out of nowhere and you really have to have somebody sign. Or maybe you have a client who just can't make it into your office during your hours. I have no problem going to them. I have no problem getting on the computer with them. I have no problem helping you. Just reach out when you need me. And then you just kind of do that same process over and over again. Now, how I do it is every month I pick a different group of people. So, because you don't want to get bogged down, okay? You don't want to reach out to every single title all at once, because you're just going to get stressed out about it. So what I do is every month I pick a specific field. So 1 month might be escrow officers. And what I do is that first time I reach out to 10 escrow officers. Okay? So then I won't reach out to escrow officers for another couple of months. Okay? And then when I do that next set of escrow officers, so I already have those 10 that I'm sending that same email to, I'll pick 10 new ones to send those, to start that process over with. So you'll have a huge list of them by the time you're done. But instead of trying to call them all at once, where you're going to start feeling stressed and you're going to start feeling like nobody wants to talk to you, it's just a lot more manageable. Now, like me, I've been doing it 4 years. I have like 150 escrow officers on my list, and they all get the same email every single week. Do I hear from all of them? No, obviously not. You probably have like a 1 in 10, 1 in 15 chance of those people using you. And it may only be one time. There's a few escrow officers that they've only used me once. But it's still one time, and I got paid the full fee. So, and like I said, you can do it for different fields. So like my Excel sheet has different things. So like I said, I have like escrow, title, which is the same thing, loans, loan officers, I guess I should say, realtors. I have one that says estate planning lawyers. I have one that says criminal lawyers, because you can do notarizations in jail. I have bail bondsmen. I have gun shops is one of mine. I have oh my gosh, there's so many. If you do permit running, you can have one for construction companies. I have one for hospitals, one for nursing homes. I have a whole bunch of different ones for each individual person. And I do have it one Excel sheet for your in-state and then one for my out-of-state. Now, obviously, you're out-of-state. I mean, you can still offer RON to your interstate people, but I do mostly offer RON for my outer-state people. And I also do offer them, if they have signings in my area or in Missouri, to contact me. And that kind of leads me into, that's kind of what signing services do. Just so you guys know, signing services will reach out to title companies in their area, in their whole state, and then they will also reach out to title companies in other states to get their title companies in order to offer it to notary loan signing agents like us. Just a little tidbit if you didn't know that. So that's definitely a big thing with marketing. Let's talk about some free ways to market, because I am a cheap bitch and I like to do as much stuff for free as I can. Yes, I do this full time. I quit my bank job 2 months into being a loan signing agent, and I haven't looked back, and it's been almost 4 years. So free marketing, obviously social media. So Facebook pages. I always suggest everybody have their own business Facebook. And with that, you can post in any local groups. Obviously TikTok. Which one? Are you talking about, the Excel sheets? Or are you talking about, free marketing? Renee, which one are you talking about? Because you know me, I'll continue to talk and give all the fun information. Marketing. Okay, so I was talking about free marketing. So free marketing things that you can do. I always suggest that everyone has a Facebook business page. And from your Facebook business page, you can actually, Renee, if you get Wix, you can actually connect it to your Wix and send any blogs you make to that Facebook page, just so you know. And LinkedIn and Instagram. It does a whole bunch. Just throwing that out there for those of you who use Wix. You can actually put your blogs, control your blog to do it to all of them at once. Anyway, so always have a business Facebook page. And from that business Facebook page, you are going to join your local groups. Like here at the Lake of the Ozark, we have what is called Lake Area Happenings. And that's where all the fun stuff goes. So all businesses are on there. Obviously, you need to make sure that whatever groups you're in, that you make sure you follow their rules, obviously. But I'm in like 50 different groups just for my business page alone. And so when I post on my business page, I take that same post and I post it into the group chats. So that's one free thing. Obviously, like I said, Instagram is another one. TikTok, of course. So social media in general. Then you can, this one can cost you money, but doesn't necessarily have to cost you money. So every area has a chamber of commerce, okay? So you can technically pay to be part of the chamber of commerce, which can be anywhere from $100 to $500, depending on your area. But your chamber of commerce normally has what they call a quarterly get-together. So every 3 to 4 months, they have a get-together where anybody who is in business is invited for free. Like we personally have one coming up next month in October. We have one coming up in October. And you basically can go and just basically talk to people and advertise yourself for free. It's definitely worth it. Sometimes you may see, I know here every once in a while we have a lawyer who does like free learning the importance of wills and trusts, and you can sign up for free. I go to those just so I can advertise to her and her clients. Kind of work together. You can also, obviously, face-to-face. You can leave business cards. I leave business cards everywhere. If there's a board, it's got my card on it. And boards, I'm talking about, like, we have restaurants have boards near their bathrooms. I know Panera has boards by their bathrooms, if you guys have those. Gas stations have boards by their bathrooms. I'm trying to think what else. Banks have boards also, so you can put that up there. And that's another thing you can do is you can go talk to banks. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of banks are actually pulling away from the notary business. Some still do it for their customers only, and they only do certain paperwork. So you may want to go into your local bank and ask them if they have a notary, ask them if they do notarizations for clients that are not theirs, and ask them if you could leave a card. Because that has definitely helped me. I get contacted from the bank that I used to work for. Yep, laundromats. I get contacted from the bank that I used to work for all the time. They Facebook message me, hey, I'm sending this person your phone number. And I'm like, okay, sounds good to me. So, and they have notaries at their bank. So it just really depends on your area. Especially in big cities like St. Louis, you have so many places you can put cards. You can make flyers if you wanted to. I'm trying to think, what other free things are there? You could always, I mean, this isn't free, but you could always get booths in, realtors have fairs in all the different cities. You could get a booth in a realtor fair. You could get a booth at conventions. If you're a wedding officiant, yes, car washes. If you're a wedding officiant, you could go to wedding events and offer it there. Also, you can also offer your notarizations there. You can go to, I'm trying to think, there's just so many ways to advertise. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Renee. Yes, I appreciate all the likes. I'm trying to think, what else do we got? Like I said, I know a lot of people say that they love their pens and their little goodie bags and all that, but they just never worked for me. Now, to preface that, if I do get a call from, say, a title company or a specific gun shop or a specific bank from a specific person who's giving me clients, I do take them treats, okay? And it's just a thank you. It just says, thank you for thinking of me. And it's just got a couple of mints in it, and then obviously a couple more business cards, and then a couple treats if I know what they like. So definitely try to personalize those thank you bags if you can. I tend to try to get as much information about the person that I'm going to be working with as possible. So if they like the Chiefs, maybe I throw in a Chiefs magnet. It just really depends. But I only do that kind of stuff as a thank you. And it's only for repeat clients too. So even though they give me one signing, they don't necessarily get a goodie bag. 2 or 3 signings or notary jobs, then yes, I do give them little trinket bags. And I always make sure to get them something for the holidays. So, Christmas and Yule, Easter and Ostara, 4th of July, New Year's, just like some of the major holidays. I do make sure that I get them just a little something, nothing crazy. Let's see, what else do we got? So let's talk about letter marketing. So this is going to sound crazy when I say this. Okay. So you can still pay to have letters with your marketing shipped to people's homes. I personally think it's garbage. I have met a few notaries in the past who have used it and said that they loved it. I think it's a waste of paper, just so you know. But for them, maybe it did work. You can also make flyers of your own if you wanted to and stick them in people's mailboxes. That probably would work better in like apartment buildings where there are multiple mailboxes all at once. If there are slots for them, because I know some mailboxes are different, but you can still do letter marketing if you wanted. But I'll be honest, my 4-step method works really well for me. Because it definitely gets them to realize that you're not just disappearing. Because I've noticed that happens with a lot of notaries, and even some of my students. They'll be like, oh, well, I sent them an email, but I haven't sent one in like 2 months. And I'm like, well, how are they going to know you're still in business? How are they going to know you're still active, that you're still doing loans? How are they going to know you're still wanting to be a part of their team? Like, how are they going to know that you're still up and running if you don't reach out? You got to be consistent. And that's something that a lot of notaries kind of push on the wayside. They start, doing more signings for, say, signing services, or maybe more signings for specific companies, and they kind of slow down on that marketing end. And that's where people start not making the money that they were expecting or that they want to. Which, it happens. All right, what else do you guys want to know? You guys got any questions that I can answer for you? Any questions? Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, we can talk about both of those. So window decals, I love them. They are one of my favorite marketing tools. So I have a big one on the back of my car. And all mine says is Reed's Remote Notary. My phone number and website are on the bottom. And then mine has 4 sections. It says Notary Public, loan signing agent, wedding officiant, and I can't remember what the last one says. Anyways, it just has my titles on it. However, on the side of my back windows, I do have window clings as well that have the services I offer, the major services, and then it says etc., as well as my phone number and website as well. I've actually had people walk up to my car while I'm sitting in a parking lot and knock on my window to ask me if I offer those services. And it's happened quite a few times, actually. I just did one last week, I believe. Was it last week? I think it was last week. I did one last week with my at my son's school. They just happened to see my car there for like 3 days in a row. And she's like, I need a notarization. Can we do it in a parent pickup line? And I said, sure, not a problem. Here's my quote. And she's like, not a problem. She came to my window. We signed everything and went our separate ways. Now, Google business pages. I always recommend Google business pages. I also have a new one to recommend to you. I actually told Renee about this the other day. Apple has their own business pages. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that until last week. Yeah, Google has their own business pages. I suggest having both because obviously a lot of people use Google. But for us Apple iPhone users, it's just as easy to ask Siri where is my nearest notary? And if you're in their system, it will automatically pull you up for Siri. Super simple. You log into your Apple account, and there's a business section. And you just fill in your business information. They will ask for proof of your business address. So I suggest if you have a business bank account or a business license or a piece of mail, they're going to ask for a piece of mail with your business address on it. That's what they ask to see. And then it takes a couple of days from them to verify. Like mine will be verified this week. If you have an LLC, so my business is an LLC, I can't have LLC at the end of Google business profiles or Apple profiles. So they reached out. All my information is correct, but they've asked me to remove the LLC, and I can only do that from my end. So I did that, and now they're just reviewing it, and it should be through, I think she said tomorrow or the day after. So my business will be on Apple, which I think is really cool. Something you learn new every day. Gotta love TikTok. You learn all the fun stuff. But definitely Google business profile. Make sure it's filled out. Make sure it's verified. Make sure it has all the information. Now, I am mobile, so my Google business page does not show my address. Okay? No, so I have an LLC. My business is Reed's Remote Notary LLC. But on Google business profile and on the Apple business profile, you can't have the LLC. So like if you look up Reed's Remote Notary, it comes up Reed's Remote Notary, but there's no LLC. It's not allowed in their system. You can, so with Google, Yep, you send a video. I'll be honest, it's easier just to do the live one with them. So if you get the live option, so much easier because you just show them a couple of things. They put it all in for you, and then mine within 24 hours was verified. Just so you know. And you don't have to have one, Renee. We had this discussion. I don't think an LLC is required. I honestly don't think it's a benefit. So when it says that you're not verified and it tells you need to verify your address portion, so what you do is you still put in your address, but there should be a box for you to check where you want it to be not shown. And what'll happen is they'll ask you a whole bunch of questions, and then it'll send you a thing saying we need to do a live video. Or it'll be like, you need to send a video or do a live. And I just click the live one. And then they you get to speak to somebody who doesn't live in America. And they ask you to show them a picture of like your business license or business registration, for the state. And then they're like, okay, show me your car. And then, you have to show them your vehicle. And then they ask you to show them your business. Like, they ask you to show you stuff about your business. And then that's it. Like, they didn't even ask for me to show them my house where my address was. They just asked me to show them my business paperwork and then my vehicle, which has my stickers on it. That's all they asked. Yeah, no, definitely, Renee. You don't have to have an LLC. I'm actually going to make a video tomorrow about getting started, because I feel like a lot of people wait because they think they have to have everything, but you don't. You don't. I will also talk about LLCs in a video, or we can talk about it in maybe my live tomorrow. What do you guys want to talk about in the live tomorrow? Because I'll probably do one maybe 4 o'clock, because my son's got therapy at 5, so we won't be done till 6. I mean, I could do 6. Do you guys like the lives being at 6 o'clock? Is that a good time for you guys? Or would you prefer a live in the morning? Which one works best for you guys? Put 1 in the chat if you want mornings, say 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Or do you like 6 in the evening around this time? Hey, don't tempt me. There's some days I thought about doing both. I can do sign. Here, let me get my little. We can talk about signing services. Let me make a note. Signing services, newbie friendly. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can talk about signing services. We can also talk about. Hey. We can also talk about platforms. You guys want to talk about signing service platforms tomorrow too? I can give you all the good ones and all the bad ones. I mean, I do bulk posting all the time. You want general everywhere. Because I actually don't have any signings tomorrow, which is kind of weird. Oh, okay. So you want... Okay, yeah, bulk posting. Yeah, we can talk about bulk posting. Are you talking about emails, or are you talking about, like, content? Because I have both. Inserts. I actually did, Candy, I did do a live about... not General Notary Works, but I did talk about certifications. Or are you meaning like training certifications, like the NNA, background checks, things like that? You want? Oh, okay, yeah. We can talk about that. Blog posting, social media. Yeah, we can talk about that. I have a whole bunch of things for that. for that. I mean, we can even talk about, like, apps that I use as a notary, like, that are my top apps. Because there are some apps that I like, and there are some apps that I personally think are trash. Because there are. And once again, I like the cheap apps, and they work just fine. So, definitely would like to talk about some of the cheap apps. That are out there, because why waste money when you don't have to? I do always suggest, though, guys, definitely have a website. So let me phrase that. Make sure you get a domain, okay? Make sure your domain is a .com, okay? Please, make sure it's a .com. Also, please, make sure it doesn't have any funky symbols. So no, like, underscores, no periods, no slashes, no little hyphens. Because, I'll be honest, it's just, even as a consumer, how often do you want to put in, when you're looking up a website, little symbols in? I know I don't. I want to be able to just type in what I'm looking for and go from there. Oh, I love Wix. That's what I use. That's what I use. If you guys want an example of a completely put together website, in my bio, I do have my personal notary website, so you guys can take a look and can give you a good example. I like Wix because it is customized friendly. You can ask Renee. My website's pretty dope. So, definitely take a look if you want an example of a put-together Wix website, because that's who I use, is Wix, and I will never use anybody else, if I'm honest. And I could, because I have, like, Square and all that fun stuff, but I would never. I love Wix, is my favorite. Wix is definitely my favorite. Good, I'm glad you have a domain. That is definitely something that you want to get when you first start your business, is to make sure you have a domain ready to go, because you're going to need it. But I always suggest having a website. It's worth the money, honestly. And a lot of Wix is actually pretty cheap. I think their lowest plan, actually I can tell you. Hold on. Let me not lie to you. Let me just look. Because I'm sitting at my desk. So, okay. Let's take a look. And I think I have one step up because I was doing something specific, but you don't have to have their like premium plans. Let's see. Okay, here. Wix's cheapest plan. Their starter plan is $7. What? Why do you pay that much? Girl, you need to relook your plan up. I pay, I think it's the 14. Yeah, mine's the 14. I have the bigger one because I do have added things to mine. I would definitely look at you can go into change your plan, and I would definitely look into that because as a notary public, really the standard plan, which is $14. I can even show you here. Let's just turn you around. Don't mind my McDonald's dinner. I haven't eaten yet. So right here, it's, see, 7, 14, and 22. I have the 22 plan. I don't know how I just liked my own video, but that's fun. Whoa, I'm losing it. Okay. $2,000 a month. What about $2,000 a month? Can you be more specific? Oh, yeah, no. I would look back into that. I just pay, no. I would double check that because, they did change their plans again. Oh, that's my email thing. I'm lying. Hold on. I was looking at the wrong one. Oops, that was the email. I'm lying to you. Knew it looked weird. Okay. I lied. I'm sorry. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry. I lied. Oh, yeah, you're still paying. Do you have your list? Okay, so here is the business plans. Here you go. Honestly, if you're just starting out, the $17 a month website plan will work just fine. If you use JotForm as your booking system, and JotForm is free. Woo! Well, guys, we're just gonna go all over the place. JotForm is free, just so you know. So instead of paying that $29 or $27 that you're paying, Candy, you could even go to the light plan and just, if you're not using their booking system, you don't need it. You can just use JotForm for free and make your own JotForms to book your clients. That's what I do. I like free. So definitely suggest JotForm for free booking. Yep, I don't pay for the booking system. I upgraded this month because I was doing something special. But next month I'm going back down to my 17. Because you don't need all that. You're one person. You don't need the 5 collaborators. You don't really need the 50 gigabytes of storage. The light suite works just fine. And you still get, a free domain. If you're not going to use their booking system, you don't need all the extra stuff. There's no need. The 17, I was using the $17 one forever. Yeah, I like free. I refuse to pay for stuff that I don't have to. I mean, I know it's a business expense at the end of the year, but I would rather do it for free and make more money. That's all. All right, guys, I'm going to stay on for 15 more minutes, and then I'm going to get off and eat my partially cold nuggets. The joys of working nonstop. Do you guys have any more random questions you would like to ask? You're so welcome. I have our little list. Maybe I will get on for like half an hour in the morning. and talk just about like general notary work and certificates. And then what I'll do is, if you guys don't see that live, I will just post it as a video in my videos. So don't forget to follow me, because I post videos every day, like multiple times a day, giving a whole bunch of different information. So don't forget to follow me if you haven't. And I will do that live in the morning. Yeah, I'll do it around 10. Why not? We'll just say 10. I'll do that live at 10. And then I will just post it for those of you who miss it. And then I'll do that live at 10. And then I will just post it for those of you who miss it. And then we'll do a I'm not kidding. My phone goes off nonstop all day long, just so you know. So it can be done. It can be done, like, all the time. My phone's always going off. Just in this live. So we've been on the live like 45 minutes. I've had 8 text messages, and this is my 3rd call. I hate Google Sites, though. I don't feel like it's customizable enough, if I'm honest. Plus, Wix has a really good sitemap that's really easy to copy and paste into Google. And I've noticed, because I'm using an external website instead of a Google site, I tend to get more traction. Just so you know, Renee, because I did try that when I first started. I tried the Google Sites, and honestly, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's good to start with. It's definitely something you can start with, but the $17 a month is worth it. And obviously, as one of my students, we can always create your website together if you wanted to. I can help you create your website. Because like I said, mine is in my profile, so if you guys want to example of what a notary public loan signing agent website looks like, you can definitely. Sorry, I was looking at something that sent in to me. But yeah, so definitely take a look if you guys want to see something that's put together, because I know people always are looking for. So on my website is actually my student packages. There's a whole bunch of them. I have a one-on-one and it's all description. There's a group one, and then they have what I call my ongoing training. I'm actually originally from Illinois. I grew up in Chicago. And one thing about when you're a student with me, I will also go over your notary handbook with you. So that is one of the things that we will go over together, is your notary handbook, because I know they can be kind of complicated to understand because they do have them typed like we're back in the 1970s. And I like to help my students break it down. Yep, I'm from the South Side, like 43rd and Halsted is where I grew up. I actually still have family who live out that way. Ooh, I like that area. It's actually a nice area. I love that the train's like right over there. For me, I had to take I think it was a bus. Was it one bus or 2 buses? No, I think it was 1 bus. I think I could take the Halsted bus all the way to the Orange Line. But it was a hassle, especially if you had to go downtown. Ugh. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, is tomorrow morning I will make a 10 a.m. live, which is actually when my baby goes to take his nap. So that works out perfectly. And we will talk about general notary work. We'll talk about different things that you can do for general notary work. We'll talk about like jurats, acknowledgements, copy certifications. We'll talk about the documents, because I do have all of them printed. We'll talk about that. And then I will make sure to post that live so Renee can see that. No, I am Central Time. So for you, I think that's 8 o'clock because I think you guys are 2 hours behind. Yeah. So it'd be 8 o'clock your time. Let me not lie to you. I think I'm right. I'm always horrible with the different time zones. Time zone. You know what I hate? I wish that we could do lives on the computer. So that we could like show stuff. Oh, I wish we could do that, but we can't. Anyways, yeah, so 10 o'clock here. So it'd be Pacific time would be 8. Mountain time would be 9. Central time would be 10. And then Eastern time would be 11. So we'll do that. And then that evening at 6 p.m. again. It'll probably be more like 6:10, guys, because like I said, my son has speech therapy and it ends at 6. So, no, I don't know why I'm saying that. Oh no, what do I need to do? Okay, hold on a second. I was trying to say that I wasn't involved in my live, which I guess kind of makes sense because I was, busy talking. Okay, there we go. They were trying to shut my live off. What the heck? I guess I need to start, typing or something. I don't know. Anyways, we will come back at 6 o'clock, probably like 6:10-ish, and we will talk about signing services, ones that are good for newbies, ones that are just good in general, and then we'll talk about the different types of platforms, because there's a heck of a lot of them. Some of them people don't even know about. I get messages for new ones all the time, and of course, the trainer that I am, or mentor that I am, I tend to be the guinea pig and get into them and see what I can find out. So there are some that people might not even know about that may be great for you, but may not be great for somebody else. And actually, yeah, there are some really good ones out there, platforms, and there are amazing signing services. So definitely we'll come back 6 p.m. and talk about that tomorrow, just because I don't have anything to do, and why not? Okay. That's the plan. That's our plan for tomorrow. And like I said, I will make sure to post that 10 a.m. live, especially for you, Renee, so you can watch it, after you get out of work. And then I will make sure that I get some apps together and then talk about posting for social media on another live. Definitely, if you guys haven't followed me, go ahead and follow my page, because I post 2, 3, sometimes more videos a day dealing with notary work and loan signing stuff. I do dabble in other things, so I do know a bit about apostilles. It's just not specifically my personal forte. I am the general notary work and loan signing guru. That is what I primarily focus on and where I make all my money. I do get apostilles every so often, but living here in Missouri, I don't get as many as a lot of other people do. Though I do have one that's going to be doing it next week or the week after. But regardless, definitely primarily loan signings and general notary work is what I specialize in. I do other things too. Like I can talk about wedding efficiency. I can talk about permit running. I can talk about all of it. I've done all of it. Field inspections. I've dabbled in all of it over the last 4 years and just have narrowed it down to the things that I like, the things that I'm good at, and the things that make me the most money. So it is what it is. Everybody has their own, special niche. But definitely find yours. When you're starting out, that is definitely one of the biggest things I tell people, is to find out what specialty you want to focus on. And you can focus on many, but always start with one. Most people, I always suggest start out with some general notary work, because that's where you're going to get your fundamentals, like your notarizations down, your jurats, your copy certification, things like that. But then you need to decide what specialty or specialties you want to focus on. Like I said, I do loan signings and general notary work mostly, plus trusts and wills is my other specialty. But I also am a wedding officiant. So I do that on the side too every so often. So it really does just depend on you as a notary public, what services you want to offer. All right, guys. So we got about 5 more minutes. We got any more last minute questions before I hop off here and eat these lukewarm nuggets? I don't care. Nuggets are nuggets. Have you tried their new gold sauce, guys? The McDonald's new gold sauce? I love it. Total side note. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you guys want to know over the next couple of days for videos or on lives? I'm going to try to do a live every day because I really enjoy getting on here and talking with you guys about the notary world. Because there is definitely a lot of stuff out there, a lot of things that aren't right. Oh, okay. You know what? Well, really quick in this last 4 minutes, we'll talk about LSS really quick. So I did do a video where I showed that I was an LSS student. I actually made a review for them. This was 4 years ago that I did the loan signing system. If you guys don't know what LSS is, it's the loan signing system, and that's the system that is by Mark Wills. And so what I have to say about that in a very short period of time is the training is okay. It's very sectioned off, and it's recorded video, questionnaire, paperwork, quiz. Okay. And then you do all the different things, and then you get your certification at the end. And then you do, for the first few months, they do put you in what is like his circle, where it's just all the notaries that have done his training are all together. They do like additional training in there, and then it's where you can ask questions. But you're never really asking Mark directly any questions. It's basically you ask a question, and whatever notary can get to it at the time answers it. Now, they're not always correct. And sometimes you never get a response, just so you know. I'm not going to claim to know everything. I learn all the time. We are always growing, always learning. Like I said, I just learned about the Apple business. I just learned about that. But every time I learn something new, I share it with you guys or my students or just notaries in general, because we all need to work together. We all are in this together. We are not competition. We are collaboration. And I feel that is something that really needs to become more prevalent, is people being more open to working with other notaries. And that's just my opinion, because there are things that we all learn, guess we're going to be having a storm shortly, because that was really loud. I don't know if you guys heard that thunder, but whoo-hoo. But yeah, so LSS, I enjoyed his training, but I don't think it's worth the $800. And yes, I did just say that. His training is $800. And then his group circle is like $47 a month after the first 3 months. It was good when I first started, but there are better options out there. And I'm not going to even say I'm a better option. It just really depends on who you as a person connect with. And it's the truth. So whoever you connect with is who I would suggest that you get training from. But when it comes to the loan signing system, Mark is an amazing entertainer. He is very good at presenting things. But I don't think his course is worth the $800. And that's just my opinion. Somebody else may say something different, but that's just my opinion. All right, guys. So we've been on here for the last hour. I will post this live so you guys can come back and watch it on TikTok if you want to. Once again, we're going to meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we are going to talk about general notary work and certs, so certifications that you can have, as well as acknowledgments, jurats, those kinds of things. And then we will also be back at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to talk about loan signing services and platforms. All right, guys, so I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate all the likes and gifts. And once again, if you haven't followed me, please come on over. I make multiple videos a day giving you notary information. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. You are so welcome. Have a wonderful night.